Storytelling can effectively reveal the extrinsic influences that incite positive and negative dichotomies of the human condition. An individual's love, hate, compassion, and prejudice can have a major impact on the identity, beliefs, and culture of others. William Shakespeare's play Othello explores how preconceived stereotypes decay Othello's sense of self and how Desdemona's love provides Othello with the ability to reconstruct his perception of himself. Othello provokes audiences to reflect on their own actions and whether they are labeling or stereotyping others, which can lead to readers taking a more compassionate attitude, undoubtedly shaping the world we live in. The love between a father and son is explored in Life is Beautiful, demonstrating that despite the conflicts we may face, protection and maintenance of identity is pivotal no matter the circumstances. By strengthening the importance of the parental role, audiences come to understand how love can protect from hate. An individual's identity is manipulated by the cultural norms of a society and the preconceived beliefs of those around them. The exploration of prejudice through narrative provides audiences with the understanding that the foundation of an individual's identity stems from the love or hate that they experience. The conflict that Guido and Othello experience through the text display how prejudice can mold an individual's identity. This is explored in the characterization of Othello through the recurring motif of calling him the Moor, which is used to disrespect and disregard who he is and what he's accomplished. Anthropomorphism of Othello highlights that he is seen as less than equal and has no place being with Desdemona. This idea of not being good enough for her exposed Othello's doubt and lack of confidence in himself, which began the degradation of his identity. Life is Beautiful demonstrates that anti-Semitism sentiments had similar prejudices. The comparison of Jews and dogs highlights fascist perspectives during World War II, but illustrates how Guido is able to maintain his energetic, silly personality while shifting in order to fill his role as a father to protect Joshua's childhood. An allusion to the Greek goddess Diana illustrates that Othello is aligning his innocence and purity with a white face, and associates his black skin as dirty or stained, which affirms to modern audiences the prejudice black individuals faced during the Elizabethan era. This being stated later in the text provides evidence that the play's structure displays the erosion of Othello's identity. By Act 4, Othello is behaving how he was labelled and is the antithesis of the Othello seen in Act 1. Juxtaposed to Othello's characterization, Guido is able to maintain his own sense of identity and protect Joshua's even while experiencing the tragedies of a concentration camp prisoner. The implementation of fairy tale-like non-diegetic sound influences the audience to reminisce on the first half of the film, emphasizing Guido's childlike humor and loving personality, and demonstrating the lack of change to his character despite the deterioration of his emotional and physical health. Exposing Guido at his lowest throughout the second half of the film provides evidence that Guido is struggling like everyone else around him. However, he is able to maintain who he is in order to protect Joshua. Both texts explore how external influences are able to impact our own identity. However, it is also apparent through the differences between Othello and Guido that not all people bow to the stereotypes and labels that are bestowed upon them. Life is Beautiful and Othello explore how love is able to protect individuals from the erosion of their identity. The relationship between father and son and two lovers display the sense of protection, safety, and security that comes with a loving relationship, while providing insight on the purpose and importance of the human condition. Desdemona uses the term Moor with positive connotation. She rewrites the definition of and creates a new perspective of the term by shifting the stereotypes Othello has been labelled with, altering the perception of people who are of different race or ethnicity in both modern and Elizabethan audiences. Guido creates an environment divided from reality in which Joshua is protected from the prejudices and death of World War II. Shots of both Joshua and the guard's reaction are changed quickly and continuously. The juxtaposition between the cold, hateful adult guard and the oblivious, wholesome child illustrates Guido's role as a father, acting as a middleman in order to shield Joshua's innocence and purity from conflict, offering parents time to reflect on the role they play in their child's upbringing. The motif of Guido winking, his silly march, and childish body language are proof of Guido's selfless attitude towards his son, not showing fear in the face of death but rather humor, protecting Joshua from reality of his sacrifice in order for Joshua to be able to leave the camp unaffected by the atrocities of the concentration camp, his identity still intact and his childhood unaltered. Our sense of identity, although able to be shattered by others, can also be held together and protected by those we love. Texts such as Othello and Life is Beautiful are able to highlight the effects love and prejudice can have on the development or decay of people's sense of self, leading to the audience's perspective to shift in order to have a more hopeful view on themselves and others. By underlining how individuals' identities can be impacted through narrative, viewers reflect on whether they are positively or negatively influencing those around them and therefore shaping the world we live in today.